talking about another sensitive one, which is gender-based violence, commonly known as GBV. Have you been a victim of gender-based violence? Have you been harassed? Have you either been physically or emotionally abused? Have you been in a case where there is a person stalking you? Or have you received threats against your livelihood? Today we are talking about that situation, and before we go further, allow me to put a disclaimer. This here is not extensive legal advice. For further legal assistance, approach your attorneys such as CTA with the details above. We are talking about gender-based violence today, and you want to know what to do in a case where you are a victim of gender-based violence. As I have explained before, GBV includes broader things such as emotional, psychological, and physical abuse. You don't have to be in a sexual relationship with the person. You can either be a child of the particular person who is a perpetrator, or be sharing accommodation with such an individual, or be found within the same property with that person, and then it is referred to as gender-based violence. On the other hand, there is also what is known as harassment, in the sense of stalking and threats. For all of that, we are going to discuss what to do if you find yourself being a victim. Firstly, let me indicate that there are about a couple of laws which deal with this issue, one of them being the Domestic Violence Act, Sexual Offences Act, and the Protection from Harassment Act. What do you do when you are finding yourself as a victim in this instance? One, you have to report as quick as you can. You report this assault to yourself or to a child, a minor child. You report this rape, you report this harassment or this domestic violence to the nearest police station by use of an affidavit, which you will complete. In each police station, there is specific officers who are dealing and trained to deal with this type of application. They should and they must assist you in making that particular affidavit. Let me talk about the remedies. There are two remedies which differ, and to take cognizance that they differ. One being restrained order. This is usually used wherein you are dealing with a case of mere or simpler assault and harassment, or where you are dealing with a case of stalking, or where you are dealing with just threats. It's just intended to restrain that person from contacting you and from communicating further with yourself. A different remedy, which we all know as protection order, is specific in cases of physical, emotional, psychological abuse. That's where you get a protection order from a magistrate, through which you will be assisted by the police into the magistrate to make the application of a protection order. May I please emphasize that police stations do not give any protection order. This you will receive from a magistrate. For the protection order, can you be criminally liable? Well, while a protection order is not in itself a criminal record, breaching that order will lead, or breaching the conditions of that order will lead to criminal prosecution, and you can find yourself being criminally liable. Let me give you an example. If the protection order indicates that you should move away and stop interacting with the victim, but you continue and you breach that condition, you can be criminally prosecuted for breach of the protection order. Can you cancel this order? Well, generally, victims have a tendency of withdrawing the protection order. Well, it's up to them. While the law seeks to protect them, the law cannot force them to have this protection order in place. Yes, also a protection order can be set aside by application to the magistrate by the purported, I'm using the purported word because this is a perpetrator who you would assume is a perpetrator, but who is able to prove that they were not in any way, shape, and form abusing or causing harm to the purported victim. Sometimes ladies abuse the system by using protection order falsely, so a purported perpetrator has a right to approach a magistrate and apply that this protection order be set aside. I hope